Welcome to United Daily Updates, your number one source for everything Manchester United. Welcome, everyone. A massive warm welcome to every single person reading this today. Whether you have been part of the United Daily Updates community for a long time or you are joining us completely fresh today, thank you for being here. This is the home of everything Manchester United. The first team, the academy, the transfers, the manager situation, the big stories and the small ones that quietly matter just as much. We cover it all with honesty, passion, and a love for this club that never dims. Before we get into today's story, please head over to the United Daily Updates YouTube channel right now and subscribe. Thousands of United fans trust the channel every single day as their number one home for reliable United coverage. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be part of this community because today we have two stories that every single Red Devil needs to read carefully. One is about the man who might be about to become Manchester United's permanent manager and the extraordinary backing he has just received from someone who knows him better than almost anyone. The other is about a 15-year-old boy who just made history. Both stories point in the same exciting direction for this club. And together, they paint a picture of a Manchester United that is genuinely moving forward. Two stories. One big message. Manchester United are heading somewhere very exciting. Sometimes two things happen at the same time that feel like they belong together. Like two pieces of a puzzle that were always meant to sit next to each other. On the same week that Manchester United are preparing for their final home game of the season, with talks over Michael Carrick's permanent appointment expected to begin imminently, two stories have arrived that have sent the United fanbase into a very positive place indeed. The first. Jose Mourinho, one of the most successful and most respected managers in the history of football, has come out publicly and strongly backed Michael Carrick to be given the Manchester United job permanently. The man who managed Carrick as a player. The man who then kept him on his coaching staff when he joined United as manager in 2016. The man who knows Carrick's football intelligence, his leadership qualities, and his managerial instincts better than perhaps anyone in the game. That man is saying clearly and loudly that Manchester United should not hesitate. They should give Carrick the job. The second. Joseph Jr. Gabriel, known as JJ Gabriel, the 15-year-old forward from Manchester United's Under-18 Academy, has been named the inaugural winner of the Premier League Under-18 Player of the Season award. The very first winner. 20 goals in 21 league appearances. The youngest ever player to represent United's Under-18 side. A boy who has been training with the senior squad since he was 14. A talent so extraordinary that the football world has already given him a nickname and a Nike deal and England call-ups at two different age group levels, all before his 16th birthday. One story is about the present and the immediate future of Manchester United. The other is about the long-term future and the pipeline of talent being built at this club. Together they tell every United fan exactly what you need to know about where this club is heading. Let us give both stories the detail and the respect they deserve. Jose Mourinho speaks, and when Mourinho speaks, the world listens. Let us start with Mourinho because the timing and the weight of what he said matters enormously. Jose Mourinho is not someone who gives praise lightly. He is not someone who makes statements to be polite or to fill space in an interview. When Mourinho says something about football and about people in football, there is thought behind it. There is conviction behind it. There is a reason he is saying it out loud and in public. And what he has said about Michael Carrick and the Manchester United job is as clear and as strong as you would want to hear from someone with his credentials. Mourinho has come out and backed Carrick strongly to be given the permanent manager role at Old Trafford. He is urging the club not to fear trusting him. He is saying that Carrick has everything it takes to do this job not just for the remainder of a season but for years to come. Now think about why Mourinho's backing carries such special significance in this particular case. This is not just a former manager commenting from a distance on someone he has watched on television. Mourinho knows Michael Carrick personally and professionally. He managed Carrick as a player during his time at Manchester United from 2016 to 2018. He then kept Carrick on his coaching staff alongside Kieran McKenna. He watched Carrick operate every single day on the training ground. He listened to his ideas. He watched how he communicated with players. He saw his football brain at work in the most direct way possible. There is a famous quote that Mourinho said about Carrick during his playing days. He said he wished Carrick was 10 years younger. That was not a throwaway compliment. That was a statement from one of the greatest tactical minds in football history about how highly he valued the quality of a player who often did not get the recognition he deserved from the wider public because his contribution was so subtle and so intelligent that casual viewers sometimes missed it. Mourinho saw what the cameras did not always catch. He saw the passes that took opponents out of the game. He saw the positioning that blocked attacks before they started. He saw the football understanding that made everything around Carrick work better. And then he saw that same intelligence transfer into coaching, into the way Carrick set up teams, into the way he communicated ideas to players, into the results on the pitch. Mourinho is not backing Carrick as a favor to an old friend. He is backing him because he genuinely believes in what he has seen. And when a manager with the record of Jose Mourinho says do not fear trusting this man, that is worth paying very close attention to. What Carrick has actually done, the case that cannot be argued with. Mourinho's backing is powerful. But let us also be clear that it is built on the most solid foundation possible. The actual numbers and the actual results of Michael Carrick's time as Manchester United head coach. Carrick was appointed on the 13th of January, 2026. He came in with United sitting uncomfortably outside the Champions League places and with the club in a difficult moment after the departure of Ruben Amorim. His first game was against Manchester City, at Old Trafford, in the biggest derby in English football, and he won 2-0. It was United's first win over City at Old Trafford since January 2023. 4 days later he beat Arsenal 3-2 away from home. United's first away league win at Arsenal since December 2017. Then he beat Fulham at home. Then Tottenham. Then win after win after win. Since Carrick took over, Manchester United have won 10 of their first 15 games in charge. They have beaten Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, and Chelsea. Against the Premier League's top 5 since Carrick arrived, United's record has been 15 points from a possible 15. 15 from 15. Against the very best opposition in the division. And the result that mattered most came just a few weeks ago. The 3-2 win over Liverpool at Old Trafford that confirmed Manchester United's return to the Champions League next season. That was the target. That was the mission when Carrick walked through the door in January. And he delivered it with games to spare. Fabrizio Romano, the most trusted transfer journalist in world football, said on his YouTube channel after the Liverpool win that Manchester United internally believe that Carrick is the clear favorite to keep the job. He spoke about Carrick's excellent relationship with the players and his excellent relationship with the board. He said clearly that Carrick remains the clear favorite to stay as United boss. Sky Sports have confirmed that United are ready to open formal talks with Carrick about the permanent role. They reported that formal discussions are expected to begin before United's final home game against Nottingham Forest. And according to Miguel Delaney of the Inside Football newsletter, the current expectation is that Carrick will be announced as permanent manager around the time of the last home game of the season. Internally at INEOS, the club's owners, there is said to be a unanimous agreement about Carrick's appointment. Other candidates like Thomas Tuchel, Carlo Ancelotti, Julian Nagelsmann, and Luis Enrique were considered at various points, but Tuchel has signed a new deal with England, Ancelotti has renewed with Brazil, and Luis Enrique is expected to stay at PSG. The field has narrowed. And Carrick has filled the space by making the strongest possible argument with his results on the pitch. The players want him too. Amad Diallo was direct when asked. He said everyone in the dressing room is happy to have Carrick as manager and that they would all be happy if he stays next season. Mateus Cunha has backed him. Casemiro, in one of his final weeks at the club before his contract expires, has backed him. The players are saying publicly what every United fan already knows from watching the team transform under Carrick's guidance. You want to follow him. You want to fight for him. You want to give everything for him on the pitch. Those are the words players have used about Michael Carrick. And that kind of relationship between a manager and a squad is not something you can manufacture or fake. It is earned through trust, respect, and the daily work of making everyone feel valued and clear about their role. Why Mourinho's warning about fear is so important. Let us go back to something specific in what Mourinho said. He did not just say Carrick is good. He said United should not fear trusting him. That word fear is important, because it speaks directly to a pattern in Manchester United's recent managerial history that has cost the club enormously. After Mourinho was sacked in December 2018, United turned to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He did brilliantly in the short term, winning his early games and creating excitement. They made him permanent. It eventually fell apart. After Solskjaer they brought in Ralf Rangnick, then Erik ten Hag, then Ruben Amorim. Every time a manager struggled, the club changed direction. Every time there was uncertainty about long-term credentials, the discussions dragged on. The fear that Mourinho is talking about is the fear of committing to someone without a huge name, without a Champions League trophy on their CV, without the kind of portfolio that looks impressive on a press release. The fear of giving a relatively inexperienced manager a long-term contract at one of the biggest clubs in the world. But here is what Mourinho is telling United. The results you are looking for are not on a CV. They are not in a press release. They are on a scoreboard. They are in the relationships between a manager and his players. They are in the culture of a dressing room. And by every single one of those measures, Michael Carrick has already passed the test. 10 wins from 15 games. Players running through walls for him. Champions League secured. A squad that believes in what he is building. These things are not small. These things are exactly what a great manager produces. And Mourinho, who has built winning teams all over the world, recognizes it immediately because he has done it himself. Do not fear trusting him. Listen to Mourinho. Because when it comes to identifying managerial quality, Mourinho is as credible as any voice in football. Now the second story, and it is just as exciting. If the Mourinho and Carrick story fills you with optimism about the present and immediate future of Manchester United, then the story of Gabriel should fill you with just as much excitement about the years beyond that. Joseph Jr. Gabriel, 15 years old. Born in North London. His father is Joe Osheruil, a former professional footballer who played for the Republic of Ireland. He grew up with football in his blood, and from the age of 9 he was already turning heads with his natural ability. A YouTube video of his tricks at 9 years old went viral. The internet gave him a nickname that has stuck ever since. Kid Messi. That kind of attention at that age does not always lead to great things. The pressure, the expectation, the spotlight landing on a child who is still just learning and growing. For many players it disrupts development. But Gabriel has handled it differently. He has used it. He has grown through it. And he has kept on developing his skills through academy spells at Chelsea, Arsenal, and West Ham before choosing to sign with Manchester United. And everything that has happened since he walked through the doors at Carrington has been historic. On the 5th of April, 2025, he became the youngest player ever to feature for Manchester United's under-18 side. He was 14 years old. He came on as a substitute against Leeds United and scored twice. In a 13-1 win. On his debut. At 14. Setting a record with his very first appearance. Before the 2025-26 season began, Manchester United gave him the number 95 shirt and started giving him regular access to first-team training. A statement of intent from the club. We see what you are. We know where you are going. We are going to make sure you develop at the pace your talent demands. In October 2025, just after turning 15, he began training regularly with Carrick's senior squad. 15 years old on the training pitch with Premier League professionals every single day. Learning the standards. Absorbing the culture. Getting used to the pace and the intensity of the top level, while most players his age are still in full-time education thinking about their GCSEs. The numbers that won him the award. And then there is the season itself. The 2025-26 campaign for Manchester United's under-18 side that has produced the most remarkable individual numbers from a player of his age that English youth football has seen in a very long time. 20 goals in 21 league appearances. Nearly a goal a game. The top scorer in the under-18 Premier League this season by a country mile. 15 more goals than any other Manchester United player in the competition. Not slightly better. 15 more. That gap does not just represent a better player. It represents a player who is operating at a completely different level from everyone around him. For assists alongside the 20 goals. 24 direct goal involvements in 21 league games. That is an output that would turn heads at any level of football. At under-18 level for a 15-year-old, it is almost impossible to comprehend without watching it with your own eyes. One of the most talked about moments of his season came in a 5-2 victory over Nottingham Forest, where Gabriel scored a sensational long-range double. 2 goals from outside the box in the same game. The technique, the confidence, the conviction to shoot from distance, to back yourself, to produce in a big game moment. Twice. These are the goals that come from genuine quality. Not luck. Not the right place at the right time. But from a footballer who understands the game, who reads situations, who makes the right decision at the right moment, and who then has the technical ability to execute exactly what his brain has already worked out. The international recognition and the Nike deal. J.J. Gabriel's performances have not just been noticed at club level. The national setup and the commercial world have both recognized what they are looking at. In March 2025, at 14 years old, he signed a long-term sponsorship deal with Nike. You do not receive a deal from one of the biggest companies in the world at 14 because you might be a good footballer one day. You receive it because serious, experienced people who study talent for a living have looked at this boy and decided they want their brand attached to his name for a long time. He was called up for England under-16 duty in August 2025 and turned it down to focus on club development. His father confirmed the decision was taken to keep him at Manchester United and develop at the club level. When a 14-year-old is in a position to turn down an international call-up because his club career needs to take priority, that tells you everything about the pace things are moving. By November 2025, he made his England under-16 debut, starting against Turkey. And by March 2026, still 15 years old, he had already been promoted to the England under-17 setup, making his debut in a European Championship qualification match. 2 different age group international levels before his 16th birthday. And then on Tuesday, the 12th of May 2026, the Premier League Football Development Panel announced the first ever winner of the Under-18 Player of the Season award. The inaugural winner. The very first name on the list. J.J. Gabriel. Manchester United. 15 years old. The 8 nominees included brilliant players from Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Tottenham, and Middlesbrough. All of them outstanding. All of them deserving of recognition. But the panel looked at every player and every performance and chose the boy who scored 20 goals in 21 games for Manchester United. He made history. The FA Youth Cup final on Thursday night. And the season is not finished yet. On Thursday, the 14th of May, just days away, Manchester United's under-18 side play Manchester City in the FA Youth Cup final. A Manchester derby in the most prestigious Youth Cup competition in English football. The history of that trophy. The names who have lifted it over the decades. And now Gabriel and his teammates have the chance to add their names to that history too. The game is being played at the Joie Stadium, City's 7,000-capacity academy ground, which has frustrated supporters of both clubs who feel a Manchester Derby FA Youth Cup final deserves a much bigger stage. But whatever the venue, the football will be real and the desire to win will be fierce. Under coach Darren Fletcher, who knows exactly what it takes to be a Manchester United player, having worn the shirt for many years himself, this under-18 squad has had a brilliant season. Second place in the under-18 Premier League North. 2 players nominated for the Player of the Season award. And now the inaugural winner in their ranks heading into the biggest game of the academy year. Can J.J. Gabriel and his teammates beat City and complete one of the finest academy seasons Old Trafford has produced in years? Every United fan should be watching on Thursday night. The big questions for the United Daily Updates community. Here are the questions we want every single person in this community to be thinking about and debating right now. On the manager situation, with Mourinho's backing, with the players' backing, with Fabrizio Romano confirming United internally see Carrick as the clear favorite, and with formal talks expected to begin imminently, are you now fully convinced that Carrick is the right permanent manager for Manchester United? Or do you still have reservations? And if Carrick is announced as permanent manager, potentially as early as around the Nottingham Forest game next weekend, what would that mean to you as a United fan? The man who played 464 games for the club, who has the Champions League winners' medal, who knows every corner of Old Trafford, now managing the club he gave his career to. How does that feel? On J.J. Gabriel, do you believe he will become the next Kobbie Mainoo? A Manchester United Academy product who comes through the system, gets his chance in the first team, and makes a genuine and lasting impact for years to come? Given what he has already done at 15, is there any reason to doubt it? And ahead of Thursday's FA Youth Cup final, how confident are you that United can beat City and end the season with academy glory? If they win that trophy, alongside Gabriel's Player of the Season award, it would be one of the best academy seasons Manchester United have had in a generation. Let us know every single thought in the comments. This community has some of the sharpest and most passionate United minds anywhere in football, and we want to hear from all of you. Final thoughts. Everything is pointing in the right direction. 2 stories. 1 week. Both pointing in exactly the same direction. Jose Mourinho, the man who managed Michael Carrick and knows his qualities as deeply as anyone, has come out and told Manchester United clearly, do not fear trusting him. Give him the job. He has earned it. And the results on the pitch support every word Mourinho has said. 10 wins from 15 games. 15 points from 15 against the top 5. Champions League qualification secured. Players who love playing for him. An INEOS board that has reached unanimous agreement internally. Formal talks expected within days. An announcement expected around the Nottingham Forest home game next weekend. Michael Carrick is about to become Manchester United's permanent manager. And one of the most respected managers in football history is standing behind him and telling the world it is the right decision. And then there is Gabriel. 15 years old. 20 goals in 21 games. The first ever winner of the Premier League Under-18 Player of the Season award. Already training with the first team. Expected to join the senior squad for pre-season this summer. A talent so extraordinary that the football world noticed him at 9, Nike signed him at 14, England called him up at 2 different age group levels before his 16th birthday, and the Premier League has now given him the most prestigious individual award available to an under-18 player in the country. The present is being handled by a manager who has earned the trust of everyone around him and who has the backing of one of football's greatest ever coaches. The future is being built by a 15-year-old who is already rewriting history books. The short-term pipeline is full with targets like Ederson and Mateus Fernandes. The long-term pipeline has Gabriel and a group of academy players who are about to play in an FA Youth Cup final. Manchester United are moving in the right direction, at the right pace, with the right people. United daily updates will be here for every single moment. The Carrick announcement when it comes. The FA Youth Cup final on Thursday. The last home game of the season against Nottingham Forest. The summer transfer business. Every step of the journey. Thank you for reading today's blog. If these 2 stories have filled you with excitement and optimism about where Manchester United are heading, please share it with every United fan you know. Let the community celebrate together. And for all the daily United content you could ever want, delivered honestly and passionately every single day by people who genuinely love this club, please head over to the United Daily Updates YouTube channel. Subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell. Join the family. And never miss a moment of the United story. This is Manchester United. And right now, it feels very good to be a Red. Glory, glory Manchester United.